Notre Dame football came out with a 31-13 victory over the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on Saturday, moving the record to 6-1. A lot of position groups, a lot of groups that are worth mentioning in this one, in the difference of winning this football game. There's one group, though, the 2023 recruiting class, that has me buzzing. Let's talk about them now. When head coach Marcus Freeman first took the job as head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, there were a couple of things we knew. We knew that he was a great defensive mind, but the other huge sell on top of his defensive prowess is his impact on the recruiting trail. We knew that he was a dynamite recruiter, and we saw that very early on with the 2023 recruiting class, which was a fantastic initial class under head coach Marcus Freeman. And on paper at the time, folks, we got super excited. Class had a lot of depth, class had a lot of length, class had a lot of speed. But on Saturday against Georgia Tech, we finally saw, I shouldn't say finally, but we've got to see a more deeper glimpse to just how talented that class is. Let's start on the defensive side of the ball, which I feel like it would almost be unwise to start anywhere else than the secondary. And what secondary coach Mike Mickens, formerly the quarterback coach, but now coaching the entire secondary, what he has done on the back end for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We know about Benjamin Morrison. We know about Xavier Watts. We knew about Cam Hart before him. We knew about Thomas Harper. There's been a lot of really good defensive backs for Notre Dame over the last couple of years. But for the future of this group and the present now, the sophomore defensive backs. We could talk to start this conversation off on Christian Gray. 2 tackles in this game. But if you watch Christian Gray in this matchup against Georgia Tech, you know that he was blanketing receivers all over the field. Almost had a fantastic pick in the end zone off of a beautifully covered pass. Eric Singleton Jr., who is a speedster, hit a double move on him, was able to maintain great position, and almost had a tremendous interception in the back of the end zone. Not to be outdone by sophomore safety Adon Schuler. Everybody knows Xavier Watts across college football, preseason All-American. Here to tell you, number 8 in the blue and gold, Adon Schuler, who had a, not just interception, pick 6 during this football game, his second interception of the season. The sophomore out of New Jersey has been off to a fast start for Notre Dame. He looks like the next great safety for the Fighting Irish. Now, the second level of the defense, folks, not too shabby. We saw a huge performance from middle linebacker Drake Bowen. I would argue that Drake Bowen may have been the best player on the field for either side of the football for both teams. I think that he was that stellar in this game. 9 total tackles, had a pass breakup, but he really helped this run defense and only give up 59 total yards on 28 carries, which was also came in tonight averaging 308 rushing yards per game in the previous 2 contests. Notre Dame, who has had some trouble, it's been a little bit up and down stopping the run. Drake Bowen led that group and was fantastic stopping on the interior, but also showcasing his playmaking speed, working to the perimeter with his great tackle and Zach Pyron in the fourth quarter as a great example of that. Not to also be outdone, because that linebacker class, not just Drake Bowen, Jaden Osberry, sophomore, out of Louisiana, 5 total tackles, a tackle for loss. One of the most outstanding plays in this football game was him working in space and having a form tackle. And Georgia Tech has a lot of speed, but you saw that Jaden Osberry had more than enough athleticism to counter that great speed that the Yellow Jackets have. On the offensive side of the ball, not quite as many standouts in this one, but 2 very important ones. 1, Jeremiah Love, 17 total touches, 93 yards, touchdown. Guys, whether it's on the receiving end as a runner or even as a little bit of a gadget player on a fake punt, we saw everything we needed to see from Jeremiah Love, 6 foot, 210 pounds. This kid, and this isn't the best analysis of all time, but he moves different than just about everybody on the field. Yes, he's a bigger, stronger back, but man, the athleticism, the elusiveness, the dead leg in open space, he is special. And we also saw some good things also from Jaden Greathouse, wide receiver that has been slowly now coming on the last couple weeks. He had 3 receptions, 43 yards today. Folks, we haven't even seen the bulk of this class. We saw Boubacar Traore, who is now out for the year early in this season as well, have a tremendous impact for this team. Just guys like Sullivan Absher into the future. Charles Jagasaw was hurt during the preseason, who was a projected starting left tackle for Notre Dame. That 2023 recruiting class, if you want to be excited about the future of Notre Dame football, they certainly showcased themselves against Georgia Tech. Folks, 31-13 victory. On to the next one. As always, you know the deal. Go Irish.